What's up, everyone? We are live, Hex Grassroots, episode number 3. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everyone who is live with us. And of course, welcome everyone who tunes in later and watches the stream on another time. Yeah, episode number 3. I'm here with my co-host, Meister Hex. Meister Hex, how are you?
Thank you, Hex Misha. How are you doing, guys? I'm doing great. Nothing better than after a stressful day, you get into the Hex Grassroots stream. Feeling great today. How about yourself, Hex
Amazing.
Misha?
I'm good. I've been working a lot, man, but it feels good. My t-shirts are working hard as well, so why not me
Yeah, you
working
cannot
hard?
complain, right?
No, I cannot complain. We had a roller coaster week. As I'm staked out, no stake shorter than 5 years. I couldn't do anything anyways, so I wasn't too disturbed by it, I would say. How about you?
No, not at all. Did you see the dip, like to 22 cents?
Yeah, I think it went down to 22 cents and then back up to 33 cents at the moment, I think. Yeah, pretty crazy. That's crypto. I hope
100%.
people are staked and safe out there and didn't try to sniper it, to time it. I'm pretty sure you got burnt if you tried. Yeah, but I'm sure we will discuss this more with our guest today, right? We have a very special guest. His name is Nigerian Hex. He's from Nigeria. I think it's very interesting that we have a guest from Africa. We will hear his perspective. Yeah, you're opening up his Twitter account. His Twitter tag is @cryptoworld_ng. Very interesting. Hexican, he was tweeting today. He put out another 5555 stake. So this man knows how to do it, how to delay gratification. And yeah, I'm very, very looking forward to talk to him.
Definitely, a super interesting guest. As you can see also here, day one OG and Pulse Chain.
Oh, wow.
I'm curious to hear about his Hex story as well. For sure, he's been there for a while. And as Misha mentioned, the fact that he's from Nigeria, Africa, sometimes you hear in the Western world, in Europe or in US, you don't hear much what's going on, for example, in Africa. So it would be awesome to also hear from his side how Hex is doing in Africa, if there's a community already,
Yeah.
and it would be great to hear more about it.
Yeah, that's a total
So
new perspective we are about to get. So I think there's something special, and yeah, let's get him on, right?
definitely, he will join us in about 25 minutes.
Awesome.
Beforehand, we just Misha and I will check the market, see what has been happening in the Hex in the crypto space, talk about potential meetups with Richard Hart, and then the main part, bringing on Nigerian Hexican and listen to his story.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, the first thing what I wanted to touch upon is actually the Staker app. I just saw the announcement of Staker app. They have a little bit of an update of the website that is more towards the version 2. And it looks already very nice, I have to say. Can you see my screen still?
Yeah, I can see it. And it has the button to download the app. Is it already for version 2 or what is it?
I don't think so. I think it's only the website as a teaser, kind of. But you could already see the branding, as we could see in the previous teasers, that that you would basically start with that you would not just blindly save, but you would set up, if I remember correctly, the actual goal that you have. For example, buying a car or buying a house, and then the app would help you how long and how much in a dynamic environment you would have to stake.
Yeah.
I think assuming some certain price actions or based on the past to achieve this actual real life goal, like buying a house. So I think
Okay.
this will help a lot of people to make it more fungible for them, for their imagination.
And if I put up this dream of buying a house, Do I have to specify it with a certain dollar amount, or how does it work?
I guess, yes. I guess you would specify it with a certain dollar amount, and then it would, I can imagine then you would also state how much fiat worth, or let's say how much dollar worth you would like to invest. And then basically it may suggest you how long you would have to stake. This is my best guess. But
Yeah.
on the website, you already can see it looks very nice,
Yeah.
very smooth.
Nice design.
Definitely. So I'm looking forward to it. As
Yeah,
mentioned in the previous episode, they were pretty excited themselves about version 2. They also call the current version like a MVP or version 1, which indicates that the version 2 is actually the real full scope, you could say, version 1 of Staker app.
Yeah, I mean, the Staker app we have right now is absolutely amazing. I know so many people that go in multiple times a day, myself included. I love to check it. I love the design. I love the user experience, and it's already so well made. And you mentioned you heard Steph talk about version 2, and he was quite humble about version 1, and he said version 2 is going to be so much better. Is that right? Is that what he said?
Yeah, definitely. This is exactly the case, and I also saw that he was a guest at Discord Syndicate. I think it was yesterday, during the stream of Hex. I wanted to say Hex Misha, but it was Hex Machina.
Yeah.
I only
Yeah.
watched a couple of minutes, but I recommend to everyone to give it a shot. Discord Syndicate with Hex Machina, to check it out.
Yeah, Hex Machina or Hex Machina, I don't know how to pronounce him. He's been quite active recently on Discord Syndicate, right?
Yes, I think he has a regular show there since a couple of
Okay.
weeks, for a couple of
Okay.
weeks. Um,
Okay. I just
and
recently started to notice him more, and then I noticed him also on Twitter. He has the squid, I think, in his name. Yeah. But nice guy, sympathetic. I like him.
definitely. Let's pull up the chart really quick. There we go.
Okay.
The 4-hour chart here. Misha, did you catch the dip of 22 cents?
Unfortunately, I didn't. My gun wasn't reloaded, and yeah, but I chilled out the whole time. Basically, didn't start to trade, to swap, or do anything. I was staked, and I'm still am. Yeah, basically, if you zoom out a lot, it's not even that much. And what about you? Did you increase your back?
Yeah, my gun was not loaded either, but I have to say that I had to think a lot about what also Rom Override stated in our previous episode, that it's just temporary, and if you stake out, it doesn't affect you at all. So, and the t-shirts still continue to work.
Yep.
So I had a very good feeling when it actually dipped and has been dipping. So I'm not concerned at all, as you also mentioned in the beginning. This is opportunity to increase your backs, but also for no coiners and new people to Hex to get a pretty nice entrance, in my opinion. So I think good times, definitely
Yeah.
good times.
And you know, another thing, even if my gun was loaded, when it went to 24 cent, I would have literally no idea if this is the bottom or not. I'm not a trader. I'm not a analyst. And yeah, I would just recommend to buy anyway, stake long, at least for 3 or 4 years, and then not worry about sniping or being better than others. And yeah, make profits on trading or swapping. So yeah, now we know 22 was the bottom, but literally when you're in it, you could also think, oh, okay, now it's really starting to go even more down, and we see 18 soon. I think you cannot time it.
We see here the recent dip is about 55% big from the top. So that's a nice discount.
Definitely. 55 from all-time high, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Let me do it again. Yeah, it's 55.
And what was the biggest ever hex dip? Do you know by chance?
I think it was 85 or something, because this chart is only, it should be, yeah, it's version 2. We can pull up version 1 and check it out as well. I mean, in the beginning, the market was even more volatile. Let me do the log chart here. There we go. Yeah, we can maybe measure that. Yeah, there we go. This one, for example, is a nice example. It's almost 86%. Down to 0.002.
Oh, December last year, yeah?
It was not December, it was a big payday, basically. This was the big payday dump. Amazing opportunity. I think most of people were actually celebrating and didn't catch the dip, but it was a really nice dip, down to $0.002.
Wow. Yeah, I wasn't into the hex game at all at this time. I only know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, the amount of hex that wasn't distributed through the adoption amplifier was distributed on big payday. Is that right?
The hex, yes, that were not free claimed, basically, from the Bitcoin holders.
Oh, okay.
So like every Bitcoin holder, almost every Bitcoin holder could free claim Hex during 1 year. And basically the big payday was the last day of the 1 year free claim period. And so all the Bitcoins that has not been free claimed in that time were distributed during big payday to the staker class.
Okay, only to people who are staked, yeah, and then by percentage to how much shares they had, or?
I think it based as always on the amount of T-shares. But the actual drama was that you could say surprisingly even the OA staked very on a short notice before the big payday. So many stakers were a little bit frustrated or angry on the OA because basically this huge amount of hex that the OA staked took a lot of potential interest gains from the staker class on the first view, you could say, as a first hint. So many were a little bit angry, but if you think about it, the big payday got the attention of a lot of short-term thinkers outside of Hex. So basically, their plan, you could say, was to stake for only 1 day to get the big payday, and you would get at least before the OA started to stake for this day, his big bags. It would be, I think, at least like around 100% gain for 1 day stake.
Wow.
And basically, the OA, when it then staked his big bag, his huge bags for the big payday, it reduced the additional interest, this big payday interest, down from, I would say, roughly 100% to 30% for the short-term thinkers, for this 1 day stake.
To not benefit so much to these short-term, lately got in players, yeah?
Exactly, yes. So basically, they would not receive as much hex as they thought they would. And as they are short-term thinkers, you could anticipate that they would immediately dump it.
Which they did.
Well, which they could have done, but as again, as said, as the OA staked it, it reduced the big payday payout for everybody else. But I think effectively, and also this came to me in hindsight, that this was a good thing because the sell pressure got reduced heavily, and you are staked out anyway, so you will profit long term anyway.
Yes.
So I think
some people initially thought they got tricked or played, but it was actually beneficial to them. Price didn't got dumped so hard. Short-term thinkers didn't got such a big bag. So that was a silver lining, yeah.
Definitely. And there was a big payday party. Was I think it was the 24-hour stream, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, but there was a long live stream with a lot of guests. Everybody brought their black hats, which you could see on Richard Hart streams. Was a really cool day, and then it dumped to basically like 0.2 cents, and this was this 85% dip, but it recovered super fast, I have to say. You can see it here as well. One more time. It was like 1.4 cent down to 0.2 cent.
Okay. Yeah, imagine you bought there. Wow. I mean, I wasn't in the game at that time. And when from that big payday, when did it hit 1 cent? How long did it take, and which month was it?
So it hit 1 cent before big payday, as the rally, you could say, before the event. Then it dumped and then recovered pretty fast to it hit 1 cent again after on New Year's, actually, as you can see here.
Oh, okay. We don't see your screen, Meister.
Yeah, let me share my screen again with you.
Yeah,
there we go.
it.
So you can see here the rally pre big payday, then the dump to 0.2 cents, and then over the course of the next weeks until New Year's Eve, it hit it was like one big market buy, and it hit like 1.2 cents basically on New Year's. So we got pretty excited back then. Like, it was, wow, 1.2 cents was so amazing, really. You could not believe it. And then, of course, it dumped a little bit over the next weeks, but typical Hex move, just made a new all-time high afterwards.
Yeah. I can actually remember when you were telling me about, okay, we just hit above 1 cent again. It could go possibly down again. Be careful, you told me. But I said, nah, I'm gonna buy and stake it long, and totally wasn't a mistake, because yeah, I staked it long, and yeah, it went pretty well.
Definitely. Yeah, so I'm happy about the recent dip. It's also healthy for the overall performance of the coin, for the ecosystem. Dips are in the game. It's normal.
Yeah,
so let's enjoy
apparently
it.
a lot of big stakes ended, right? So a lot of people that got in early, they have had their stake ending, and they sold some profits, I assume. How do you evaluate this? Is this something we will see again when we see on Hex Vision a lot of stakes ending, or is this a big phase and then we all learn from it and will not dump too much? How would you evaluate the whole situation?
Well, first of all, it always depends, because it's relative. Because if you compare the amount of stake end to, let's say, 1 year ago, it may be way less. But as it is already at the past, you don't see the comparison to other months where stake ended. The same can happen. Like, if you look at we can actually also bring it up. That's a good point. Let me just open Hex.vision.
Yep.
There we go. Let me share my screen again. It's been loading. And you have the staking here.
Yeah, so that site is a very good tool for anyone who's into Hex, right?
Hex.vision, definitely a lot of good statistics also regarding the gas price, the amount of stakes expiring on each month. So also it's a good way to evaluate on which month or which day you should end your stake. And of course, it makes more sense to place it in a time where the amount of stakes expiring is not that high. So basically, the probability that liquid Hex will be sold after the stakes ends, it's lower. And as we can see here at the moment, This is what I mean, that even if the amount of Hex, for example, in this month looks high, when you then take a look at the future, and then this stake amounts, the expiring stakes for this month, which at the moment looks very low compared to this month, but if you then zoom in, it may appear a lot. So that's why it always is relative to when it comes to the amount of Hex.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, well, I mean, we are all here for profits, so taking profit is fine. This is all the reason why we're here. We'll see. I saw one particular Hex stake expiring, and there are like 150 million Hex liquid, and he sold like 1 million. So I'm curious what it will do with the rest, the 150 million Hex. It's still sitting liquid.
Yeah. I want to add one thing, like you said. Of course, if you're seeing your own stake expiring in a time frame where a lot of stakes are ending, and possibly the price will go down by a lot, you don't have to sell when your stake ends. You can just restake it with your interest, or just your or without your interest. You can stake it longer to get more t-shirts. You're not forced to sell at that point. You can hold it liquid, you can stake it again, for then watch it on Hex Vision to place it in a time where there's not so many stakes ending. Yeah, you do you. It's just you and the smart contract.
Exactly, it's only you and the smart contract. That's exactly the point. Yeah, definitely. But of course, the probability gets higher as more stakes Hex are liquid. But yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm long term here, so
that's good.
This doesn't concern us. And also, one must not forget that all the interest that you collect during your stake time frame, it's paid out in the end. So even though, for example, the price dips today to 5 cents or 10 cents, it has absolutely no relation to your stake. Only the price starts to matter for you when you end stake. Then is the earliest time when it matters, actually, not before.
Yeah. Because independently of the current dollar Hex price, the amount of Hex is determined independently of the dollar price. So it's determined by the number of Hex paid out in a day per t-shirt, multiplied by the number of t-shirts you're holding. And it doesn't matter if Hex is $1 or 50 cents, you're accumulating the set amount of Hex.
Definitely, exactly.
All right.
I also wanted to bring up one more news from the man himself. Regarding,
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the upcoming meetup.
Nice.
Yeah. In Copenhagen tomorrow, for all the, you could say, Nordics, for all the persons who live around Denmark, around Copenhagen. You still have one day to fly out. Tomorrow, Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. local time in Copenhagen. We can expect a nice hotel. It's not revealed yet, but yeah, lucky Danish people, I would say.
Yeah, interesting. So we know he was in Hamburg. We saw the pictures, the video, we saw the background, but he didn't do a meetup in Hamburg. What do you think? What's the reason? Okay.
I think Richard Hart often mentions that if he is not active on social media, he's working hard. So I enjoyed the days where he was a little bit less active on Twitter. So maybe he was working hard, or maybe it has something to do with the upcoming on-ramp fiat on-ramp for Hex, maybe the upcoming DeFi exchange, also the of course the Pulse chain launch. I think he's been pretty busy.
Maybe he didn't enjoy the Louis Vuitton Prada stores in Hamburg and thought, okay, I'm gonna go to Denmark. They got some good stuff.
Yeah, maybe he couldn't find his shoe size or his
Yeah, exactly.
clothing size.
And people in Nordic countries are taller, right? So the chances of getting his shoes there are higher.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe he will come back. Hopefully he will come back. For sure he will reveal some information what he's been doing in Hamburg. Anyway.
Yep. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, let's get our guest on here, right?
Yes, definitely.
It's time.
So as mentioned before, special guest today, our second guest, Nigerian Hexican, who we have the honor, he joined us today, pretty active. So please welcome Nigerian Hexican.crypto. Hello, welcome. My friend. Can you hear us?
Hey guys.
How's it going? Can you hear us?
I think he's fixing his headphones.
Yeah, professional setup.
Nigerian Hexican, welcome to the stream. How are you? Oh, you muted, man.
We cannot hear you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, now. Yeah, now we're hearing you.
Perfect, now we can hear you.
Okay.
Nice, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I was so happy you guys reached out to me. I was so happy you guys reached out.
Happy you could make it. Happy you could make it. From where are you tuning in?
Sorry, it's my network.
Sure, take your time.
Yeah, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
We hear you.
I think you can put your headphones back in. Just you were just on mute, I think.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I got interrupted.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome. Where are you tuning in from?
Yeah, I'm based in Nigeria.
Awesome. Yeah, so you're in the home country, yeah? You already mentioned in Twitter that you're from Nigeria. Which city?
It's called Benue Makodi. Yeah, it's a very local, like one of the rural states in the country. Yeah.
All right. How far is it from Lagos?
It's actually very far. It's far from. Yeah, it's actually called Lagos. It's actually far from Lagos. Yeah.
All right, gotcha. Yeah, awesome to have you here. As mentioned, Hex Grassroots is all about bringing maybe lesser known Hexicans like yourself to the broader Hex community. And we noticed your account for a while, that you are very active, you're promoting Hex. So it would be awesome if you could share a little bit of your Hex story. When did you get into cryptocurrency, first of all?
I got into cryptocurrency around 2018. 2018 December. I bought the Bitcoin dip when it fell to 3,500. So that was when I first bought my first bag of Bitcoin. My first crypto. Yeah.
And did you hear about Bitcoin beforehand, or was it just coincidence that you?
I actually heard about Bitcoin in 2016, but I never took it serious because I was thinking it was one of these Ponzi schemes. You understand? Over here in Nigeria, in Africa to be specific, there are many times people throw out a lot of Ponzi schemes on the internet. So someone told me about it, but I didn't really take it serious. But when I then, like 2 years later, I was like, oh, I really missed a lot. So I then capitalized on the opportunity, December 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
I think this happens to all of us, that you hear about Bitcoin and you don't grasp the opportunity, especially about the decentralization. You think it's another PayPal, maybe just another fintech, and you don't care. And then 1-2 years later, you hear it again, and then you're completely excited.
Yeah, that was my story. You could say that.
Cool. So you got into crypto early 2018, into Bitcoin, and were you a Bitcoin maximalist, or did you invest in other coins as well?
I was a Bitcoin maximalist till I started playing with the top 20 coins in the market cap. Yeah, I bought a little bit of Ethereum as time went on. I started buying Chainlink later on. Then as time kept passing, I started playing with other shit coins. Yeah, you could say I'm a trader as time went on, but I think eventually I finally found my roots. You could say that I finally found something that had more ground, more fundamentals, and which was Hex. But before Hex, I played with most of the other coins, Chainlink, XRP, all those other shit coins, all those meme coins. Yeah, I traded a few of them.
And how did it work out for you? Were you wrecked? Did you get burned by trading?
Yeah. I was actually a successful trader, but I will tell you, I actually got wrecked a number of times. But right from college, I had this mindset that I was going to make a fortune out of crypto, because I don't really like 9-to-5 jobs. I won't lie. And over here in Africa, in Nigeria to be specific, we don't have a lot of jobs. So I just decided to, like, I'm in this for the long-term gains. So even anytime I got wrecked, I still kept on trading. You understand? I lost quite a lot of money, but
Oh no,
that didn't discourage me. And like anytime I even lose trades, I even went as far as meeting my mom, my sister, my girlfriend as of then. I'll tell them, yeah, give me money. Let's still put more money into this thing. I think it's going to work. They'll be like, but what happened last time? I'm like, yeah, we lost money, but like,
Yeah.
but I think I finally got the hang of it. Like, if you're in crypto for short-term gains, you surely get wrecked, especially when the project is crap.
Yeah, XRP, stay away from me, right? So what was the turnaround for you? When did it started to really go well, if so?
Yeah, I think it was last year. I think around March. That was when I started buying Chainlink. That was like I deviated from Bitcoin, Ethereum. I started buying more of Chainlink and Ethereum. I took out all my Bitcoin and dumped most of it on. So you could say I was more of a marine. Yeah, I was more of a Chainlink marine then.
All right. So you were and you were into Chainlink. Basically, you stopped trading, you reduced the trading, and was hoping that Chainlink would pump back then. You could say.
Yeah, and Chainlink actually pumped. I think from when I bought it around March, April till August, it did serious pumping. Like, it actually did very significant pumping. So like, and I started even inviting more of my friends into crypto and telling them more about Chainlink, just the way I'm doing about Hex now. At that time, I hadn't known about Hex, so it was more about Chainlink.
I see. And how did you find about Hex for the first time?
Yeah. How I found out about Hex was actually very funny, because last year, after the Uniswap airdrop, I missed that. I was very sad because I was trading more on all this centralized exchange. So I then decided after missing out on the Uniswap airdrop, I should trade more on decentralized exchanges. You understand? So I started trading on Uniswap, trading on some of these meme coins and some of these shit coins. And how I found out about Hex was, I think on Uniswap back then, I think there was a section where I would see Hex ads. And I love memes. I love memes a lot. So I I always look up the memes. I'll see they will put something Hex, but I was always like, I'll do research on this thing some other time. So I found out about Hex.
August 20?
Yeah,
When
it was. Yeah. It was around August. It was around August. Yeah, I started seeing a lot of memes on Hex. Yeah, but I didn't really see it. Yeah, not just on. I think it was on Twitter. Yeah, on Twitter. Not this account. I had another account back then. I didn't still take it serious. But one thing about me, I always save my memes. I always save my memes. When I'm bored, I'll go through them. So it wasn't up until November that I actually took the bold step to do research. It wasn't even still serious as of that, but it was November that I actually bought my first Hex bag. That's when I started buying. I was like, okay, I've been seeing the meme for a while. Let me just put in a couple of dollars and see what goes on. I think Hex was my smallest bag back then. But as time went on, I kept increasing the portfolio for Hex till.
Awesome.
Now it's the biggest, yeah.
Now it's the only bag. It's not the biggest. Nice. It's the only bag.
Yeah. So the biggest and the only one. Nice. Yeah. And you mentioned you were trading and got burned a little, and now you do the ultimate delayed gratification and you staked for 15 years. How did that feel? How did that change of mindset worked from trading to 555?
I think for a normal trader that is used to trading, if you tell him to stake, they won't really understand it. That's the beautiful thing about Hex. So it took me a while to understand delay gratification, because once you understand delay gratification, you will even want to even stake even more if you have the capital. Yeah. So what I later found out is that the amount of money that I could get, there's one thing, trading, you can't get constant trading if you're not getting my trading capital, like the profit I was getting from trading. One thing I know, it wasn't consistent. Yeah, there are times I'll make profit, then there are times I'll then make serious losses. So I then finally found out that okay, it's much more better to stake it and keep making more money as passive interest. And in fact, my first stake was just only for 2 months. But after that stake ended, I then actually understood more on Hex and more on the advantages of staking 55555.
Yeah, so, it's like a learning process, right? It takes time, and you need to learn and process it.
It takes time, and especially if you are like, back then I wasn't even following any Hexican on Twitter. I was just on my own. Nobody told me about Hex, so I had to go through the learning curve on my own. Nobody had to done, so I kept learning as time kept passing on.
And now, do you have fellow Hexicans in Nigeria? Is there a community building?
Yeah, like I've introduced over, I can say I've introduced over, let's say 40 people this year.
Wow.
Yeah, nice. Like my kid sister now calls me Mr. Hex. I've introduced over 40 people. Like back then I was still in college. I went as far as even introducing my university head of department to Hex and to crypto. I sat him down, I told him, explained a lot of things to him, and told him the advantages he stands to gain by going into Hex. So like we have a community here. It's not that big, but like we are growing it. And me personally, anytime I meet people my age, the first thing I try to tell them is, hey, if you're not into crypto, come into crypto. You can make money off it. Yeah, because over here in Nigeria, if you meet the average people, like the average young people, they like thinking towards money. So the first thing I tell them is, come into crypto, come into Hex. You stand to gain a lot. So once I use that to sway them in, that's when I then start breaking everything bit by bit for them in
nice
information.
And did they? Do you have some of them? Did they also already made the learning process of staking and delayed gratifications? And did they come back at you thanking you, or is it still in the beginning?
Like there are a few of them that decided to stake because I told them the advantages of staking. And first of all, I had to explain to them that once you stake, you don't have you can't, because the smart contract is once you've staked it, the smart contract is already there. You can't decide to take out your money. So I had to explain some of these things to them because a lot of these people I was telling about Hex, they are all new to crypto. I think almost all of them, Hex is their first crypto. So I had to do a lot of explaining, tell them what gas fee is, explain to them how staking is all about and how you can decide to gain passive interest from staking or keep your Hex liquid. So it all depends on you as an individual. If you decide you want to just only hodl, fine. If you decide you want to be like me, who decides to stake, still fine. So I had to tell them I had to explain some of these things to them, so they would then decide what they want. You understand what they actually wanted.
Yeah.
So I have some friends that are introduced to Hex. They are staking. Sure, they are staking. And I also advise them to introduce other people, and they've even told their fellow family members about Hex. I think so far I think I've introduced over, like, let's say almost 10 extended family members are into Hex now.
Nice.
Thanks to
Awesome.
my mom is a Hexican. My mom is a Hexican. Her twin sister is a Hexican, and some of my cousins are Hexican. Even my girlfriend is a Hexican. So
Nice.
yeah. I couldn't keep all of this good stuff to myself.
Good
Awesome,
man.
awesome.
My mom is also Mexican. Nice man.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm proud.
Cool, man. Cool. Awesome. And let us know, because when we onboard here in Europe, people like, of course, economically it's higher than Africa. But even when I onboard people, they struggle a lot to understand or to deal with the high transaction fees from Ethereum. How is it for you at the moment? I can imagine the onboarding is super hard because they need to put a lot of money, at least $1,000, the transaction fees make sense. Do you experience problems with that, challenges?
Yeah, sure. I experienced the challenges are actually there. The challenges are actually there, but another thing I do as a source of income, you could say they call people like us vendors. We on-ramp crypto to flat and convert flat to crypto. Yeah, so a lot of these people don't have access to do all of those things. So that's where I come into the picture, because I have accounts in most of this centralized exchange. I can easily get Ethereum. I can easily do the swapping. So I think most of them that I introduced to Hex, I was actually the person that helped them get their Hex, because
this is a good point. Because I understand that, for example, you would basically help them to install MetaMask on their phone.
Thank you. I just guide them on the process. Once they've created it, I always emphasize on the importance of security to a wallet. You keep your seed phrase in a safe place. I always tell them all this. So in fact, most of them, when they are just coming, they are all like, let me just send you cash and you help me get Ethereum. So I'm usually the person who helps them get Hex, get Ethereum to run all those transactions.
So you send them Ethereum to MetaMask. Basically, you kind of like the seller to help them out, because you have access to the exchanges, right? So the average Nigerian, the average person in Nigeria has problems to actually exchange, to go to the exchange. Yeah.
The average, like, crypto is still a new market in this place. A lot of them don't know. A lot of them, when I'm telling them, they're hearing it for the first time. So I have to still be the person to guide them and tell them how to do some of these things. You understand? So I am still with them 2/3 of the time. Like, even this current dip, I got a lot of phone calls. Hey, the price of Hex has gone down. What's happening? Should we sell? Then I would then tell them, no, don't sell. We are in it for the long-term gain. So 2/3 of the people I introduced to Hex, I'm also the person usually who helps them on ramp it anytime they want to sell it, because it's actually a challenge over here. You understand? Some of them can't actually do their KYC to actually get access to the centralized exchange. So me on my part, I do my part to help them. So they actually get into crypto and get profit out of it and actually gain all what I promised them. So
awesome.
I think that's
nice.
Yeah.
Good job, man.
Let us know, because when you access MetaMask in Europe, they have a couple of third-party integrations where you can buy Ethereum directly through MetaMask with euro or dollars. Do you have this fiat issuance in MetaMask in Nigeria, or is it not possible?
It's not really possible because actually my country is hostile about crypto. They actually banned crypto in Nigeria. That was early this year, sometime around February. So
okay.
you can't actually use your, let's say your MasterCard or all those other cards to buy crypto if you're actually here in Nigeria. So where I actually buy it is via P2P from Binance. So I get it from Binance, then from there I then send it to MetaMask and do the swapping. So that's how it is. I send from Binance to MetaMask, I then swap it on Uniswap. The gas fees are crazy. The gas fees are actually crazy, but
yeah. And you're paying gas fee for the transaction from Binance to MetaMask as well, right? And then for the swap again, and so it adds up.
The gas fee. Yeah, the gas fee. I think 2/3 of the time, what actually discourages a lot of people from crypto is the gas fee. You understand?
Yeah.
Because the Ethereum gas fees, you and I know they are fucking crazy, like very, very high.
Especially because there are a couple of them. Like it's you have to do the transaction to their MetaMask, then they have to swap ETH for Hex, or do you send them Hex directly?
I send them Hex directly. Initially, I used to, those that are able to grasp the concept very fast. In order to just show them the process, I tell them, okay, I'll send you Ethereum, you do more of the swapping, but there are not like very many of them that have to go through all that process with, because some of them, they are not really ready to do all of that. They are just like, I don't want Ethereum, just send me Hex. Just send me Hex. So I'm like,
yeah. Yeah, you basically reduce the hassle to the minimum, right? They get Hex and stake by themselves, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. That's amazing what you do, man. Like, thanks for your service, man. Like, you help a lot of people out there, man.
Yeah, like the Hex community in Nigeria that I'm like communicating with is actually growing like almost on a daily basis. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and those people you onboard, maybe they will become successful and they will start shilling it, and it gets to a lot of people, and it's helpful, I think.
It's very difficult to even see anyone who holds Hex for at least 2 months complaining, because the way we've been doubling this year alone, I think the price of Hex doubles almost every 48 days, if my calculations are not wrong. So anyone who is in for long-term gains, you stand to gain a lot. I always explain this to them. Once you are coming into this, don't be a weak hand. I emphasize on that. Make sure you hold it for as long as possible. That's where you gain more profit from.
And also, the government cannot access your Hex, right? Is that something that is important for you as well?
Yeah, it's also important. I make sure I don't keep any of my crypto on exchanges, because I don't like centralized exchange. I believe in your crypto, your key. You understand? So
100%.
That's what I do. I don't really keep crypto even in exchanges. I keep all of them in my wallet. That's my MetaMask or my sticker app.
Cool, man. That's really important, because also when I onboard people who are familiar with cryptocurrencies, they usually are registered at the centralized exchanges. But when I tell them, hey, Hex is completely on decentralized ecosystem, MetaMask, right, with the wallet, Uniswap or 1inch from the exchange and so on, So they also have to learn that they have to take care of the private keys, because as you mentioned, security is super important, because once you lose them or it gets confiscated, it's out. You cannot call the support of the exchange or so on. But I think it's worth to learn about it, because it's your money, right? And it's a very nice experience to learn also the security aspect and to deal with no counterparty, basically.
Yes, yes, yes. You nailed it. You nailed it.
Cool.
You nailed it.
And what about the cryptocurrency space in general in Nigeria? Is it very popular? Like, of course, Hex is unpopular maybe yet, but how about Bitcoin and the others? Is it good there?
Yeah. A lot of people are now familiarizing themselves with Bitcoin. They know more of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those are the only two they know. Are you there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can hear
you. They know only Bitcoin and Ethereum. So I think as time went on, a few of them started knowing more of these shit coins. So what I tried to do, I tried to tell them the difference between. Okay. I tried to tell them the. I think how I convinced most of the people I introduced to Hex, I showed them the chart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you see the chart, if you see the 1 year chart, if you zoom out, you will notice we are very, very bullish. And the crypto community in Nigeria is getting bigger. A lot of people are now going into crypto. I think some of the people I even introduced, they are already into crypto for at least a year. So most of them had Bitcoin, some of them had Ethereum. So when I told them about Hex, I finally told them, hey, we swap this into Hex, into a more better crypto. They saw reason, because most of them, they are in it for profit. But I think once you go into crypto for profit with a crypto like Hex, as time goes on, you begin to build your knowledge more on it. You understand?
Yeah.
Because as you said, it's your money. You eventually have to do research and everything.
Definitely, especially if you were in crypto for a long time already, and maybe you noticed that a lot of projects, a lot of cryptocurrencies are built on hopium and on the roadmaps and on promises and so on. And Hex is a complete finished product, so there's also no risk that. Exactly. And this passive income, when you stick to your word and you think long term, then it can be a very nice way of doing passive income. So I think this is all what we are looking for, right?
Yeah, and like there are some. Okay, my own city is actually very small, but in big cities like Lagos, you can actually even receive payment in crypto. There are some people that, instead of collecting payment in flats, they rather receive payment in crypto, like pay me in Bitcoin, pay me in Ethereum. I see stuffs like that in some of these big cities. So like mass adoption in Africa is actually growing, and I see us actually going very far in the next couple of years. So that's just how it goes.
And what is the usual payment method in Nigeria? Like, for example, in Europe, obviously it's credit cards, right? Or PayPal. How is it? What is in Nigeria? Like, what do you use usually outside of crypto?
Outside of crypto, what they only collect is flat. You collect your payment in naira. You only
So cash,
collect
yeah.
naira. That's just the only thing. So most of these people, they finally see receiving payment in Bitcoin and Ethereum as a better storage of value over time, because the naira is devaluing because of the high rate of inflation in the country.
Yeah, exactly.
So how some of them got into crypto, they finally found out that, if I keep my money in crypto, I won't be seriously affected by inflation as time goes on. So that's how some of them actually got interested in crypto. You understand? If not, initially it's always naira. But there are some people that instead of paying me in naira, they are paying me in Bitcoin, paying me in Ethereum, paying me in Hex. I think back then last year I was doing pay me in Chainlink. I had to force some of because there are some people that I was working with in I forced them, instead of paying me in Naira, I will force you, you must purchase Chainlink and send me my payment in Chainlink instead of fiat.
Cool. Nigerian Hex, you can listen. We received some side noises. Would you like to try to speak through your headphones?
Okay.
Just take your minute. Let's try it out.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you hear us? All right. I can't hear you. I don't know why. But can you remove the headphones one more time, please? Yeah. Let's try now. Let's try now. Can you hear me? Okay. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. Remove the headphones. Something went wrong. But I think the noise, to be honest, came from Misha. Talk with me now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I apologize because the noise came from Misha, not from you. Sorry. It's all good. Your sound is clear. Yeah. So all good, man. All right. So cash is very important in Nigeria, right? You say.
Yeah.
And crypto is taking momentum at the moment as a payment of acceptance. And could you already, if you go to the supermarket, did you experience that you can pay with crypto? Did you experience that?
I personally have not experienced it, but my friends living in other bigger cities like Lagos, like Abuja, like Port Harcourt, there are some shops where they go to buy coffee, go to buy their food, and you see alternative source of payment, like pay me in Bitcoin, pay me in Ethereum. It all depends on the person who has the shop or the business. If he decides to use crypto as an alternative source of payment, fine. But I have not seen it personally, but I've seen my friends, they've put it on camera when they were going to run transactions or going to buy food or stuff, and they'll just see by the side, pay me in Bitcoin. I've seen it quite a few times.
All right, nice, interesting. And I also saw in Hex Twitter, I saw some other Nigerian with some. I'm not sure if it was Nigeria. I can imagine that they had some meetups. Maybe it was another African country. But are you familiar with other Hexicans?
Yes. I think most of the African Hexicans I know are from Kenya. The Kenyan communities, the Kenyan community is very big. We actually have a WhatsApp group for African Hexicans. Yeah, you could say that. And most of them are all from Kenya, though. The Nigerian community is actually still very small. So the community is growing day by day. And I love what the Kenyans, those in Kenya, they are really going hard on Hex. Like,
nice.
Yeah, they do a lot of meetup, but over here in Nigeria, like you could say, we are still relatively very small. I don't think we are up to 100 yet. I don't. I strongly doubt, but I know we are more than 50. Yeah, I know we are more than 50. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure there are more Hex Grassroots. I mean, you onboarded 40, you say. They onboarded a couple, and the word is spreading.
Yeah. Everybody's. I keep telling them about, like, I think there's almost, and I post a lot on social media, like on Twitter, on Facebook, and Reddit. I keep posting about Hex, so I think at least my post is reaching few people. At least there are sometimes some people look at my post and like, hey, what's this Hex you're always talking about? You keep posting it, so
nice.
The community is growing. That one, I'm very sure of it.
This is exactly how you drew my attention, because I saw you've been active a lot in especially in Hex Twitter. You've been promoting a lot, so you are typical like grassroots Hexican that works a lot behind in the background. So I think the Hex community is very thankful for that, and this is the reason why we wanted to hear your story. I can imagine you are very excited about Postchain, yeah?
Yeah, Postchain, Postchain. Before the sacrifice they started talking about it. So I actually knew, I was actually well informed about the program before the sacrifice phase actually started. I'm very active in the Telegram channel, so I got to receive the information beforehand. So I just did what I had to do. I strongly believe in free speech. So I think
100%.
yeah.
Definitely,
And
definitely. And I mean, it will eliminate the problem with the high gas fees, right? Especially
yes,
for
yes, yes.
Nigerians, right?
Yeah.
So
Like pulse chain really solves scalability. So me, anything that will reduce gas fee, I'm party to it. And once it is even that of Richard Hart, once it's a project that Richard Hart is backing, I am down for it because like the few details about the fundamentals that I got about pulse chain, like that alone was enough to convince me. I already started keeping dry powder to sacrifice
nice.
even before the sacrifice phase started. So
Oh
as soon
wow.
as day one, as soon as it was ready, I'm among those people that were day one. I started pumping in cash. Day one, day five, like I did about 5 sacrifices. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So I think it was also the best time, right? The first 5 days.
Uh,
I think it
the first 5 days were the best. I think the
cool.
first 5 days were the APY was actually I think 2.5 according to
Hmm.
how I saw it. But I didn't just sacrifice once. I sacrificed on the first day. I think there were about 5 other days. Yeah.
Nice.
I also sacrificed on the last day. I was, I think then during that 3 weeks, all my money, I just kept pumping it into pulse chain, pulse chain, pulse chain. I
Nice.
actually sacrificed a lot because
Way more than you thought, yeah?
yeah, like I had this friend that is also a Hexican, he's also a Nigerian. We're like doing this competition. If I sacrifice it, he'll tell me, how did you sacrifice? I'll tell him, yeah, I'm also sacrificing tomorrow if that's the case. So it was like a
Awesome.
friendly rival, but we both
Nice.
see the bigger picture, and we know pulse chain is going to solve scalability in the Ethereum blockchain, and we also know that we're also expecting our bags to do times 10,000. Just like Hex
Awesome. Yeah,
in the
win-win.
long run. So we are in it for the technology and the money.
Awesome. It's a perfect mix.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys, I'm back. I had the disconnection. I hope it works now better.
Good. Good to
Yeah,
have you
thanks
here.
Nigerian Hex again for your answers. I have a question. I saw a picture with a statistics recently. It said how much a average wage of a laborer it takes to pay internet for a month. And I think in Israel it was the cheapest with like less than 1 hour working to pay the whole month of internet. And I think Nigeria had the most expensive internet where a worker would have to work 1 week, 40 hours or so to pay for the internet for a month. Is this true? And what is your take on the infrastructure? Because you need infrastructure to have free speech and work with the blockchain. How do you see it?
Yes. Internet supply in Nigeria is not that good. It's not that strong, but we just have to make do of what we have. I think the average amount I spend monthly on data is around, let's say, it should be around almost close to $50. Yeah.
And how much hours do you have to work for this $50? So we get a comparison.
The minimum wage is around
Yeah.
$56. That's what my monthly salary that I get every month is 33,000 naira. In dollars,
All
that's
right.
around $56. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
crazy.
All
So
right.
internet is really, really expensive.
Yeah, internet is very expensive, but on the bright side, I don't just depend on only my monthly pay from my job. I also do my vendor job as a crypto vendor, where I unramp crypto to flat and flat to crypto. Yeah, I make
Nice.
small change, small extra profit from that to add to support to myself. So
Cool.
I really can't complain though. But
Nice.
internet supply is expensive in
But for the
Nigeria.
average Nigerian, it's expensive. Yeah, they have to work a lot of hours to pay for the internet.
The thing is, if you don't even pay for it, you won't have access to it. So it's not everybody that has access. They will just limit themselves to what they can afford. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then even better to stake, right? You just log in once, stake it, forget about it. No more internet needed. You go your way, and you don't need it every day necessarily.
Right.
T-shirts will be working regardless.
Yeah. Our t-shirt never sleeps. It's always working 24 hours.
That's cool,
100%.
man. Yeah, of course we wish of course all the best for Nigeria. I think internet should be accessible for everyone at any time. Yeah.
That's why we sacrifice for the free speech.
Yeah, that's true. My expectations are actually my expectations on posting are actually like that of Hex. I'm also hoping it does 10,000 in 2 years.
Wow.
Awesome.
From now on, 10,000 X, yeah? Pulse chain plus Hex as well.
I'm hoping by 2023, this time 2023, we'll all be millionaires, hopefully.
Nice. And what is your, because I asked Rom the same question, what is your Halloween and your end of year prediction for Hex in dollars?
Yeah. My Halloween prediction for Hex, I think I should just tell you that of my end of the year prediction for Hex. I'm expecting at least $1, or let's say worst case scenario 0.8. 0.8. Yeah, because
same.
I feel the upcoming events that are coming up in the Hex community are going to cost the price of Hex to have a parabolic. But even if we don't see $1 Hex this year, I don't still mind, because I have 555 sticks. I'm in it for long-term gains. So, but I'm expecting Hex to be at least 0.8 by December 31st. At least 0.8.
Yes. I'm with you, and we will see how it turns out. We have your prediction, and I think the Pulse chain launch will be a real breakthrough in the gatekeeping and in advertisement and in going viral. And this event alone has at least the potential for a 2x, if not more. And so gatekeeping is so hard, and we have the legal case with CoinMarketCap. Yeah, if we win and Hex will be listed on first page in place 3, imagine how much this potential would have. So we have multiple horses in the race, so to speak, plus a finished product with 100% uptime. I am very bullish no matter what.
Yeah, on the snapshot.
Exactly.
Especially we Hexicans go nowhere, as you mentioned, the Nigerian Hexican. We are all 5555, right? So we will stay here for at least the next 15 years. I also experienced that most people who I onboard, they are pretty happy, latest after 2 months, as you said, because the price is going up. They are also experiencing, and also because in the beginning your mindset maybe, as you said, like you have this trader mindset, you only want to have short-term gains, you are impatient. But if you stake, then you start to see the bigger picture, the long term, and then you chill more. You maybe take care more of your health, and the t-shirts are working regardless every day, 24/7. Every day it's t-shirt time.
I think it actually took me a while to actually understand the concept of T-shares. I think my biggest regret is not even staking more when I actually started staking. But once I finally understood how the T-share works, I was in love with the system. I was like, this is a finished product. There's no other crypto where you see any community staking crypto for up to 5 years or even 10. But we have Hexicans doing 5. That's crazy. So I fell in love with that.
And in the beginning, you were only holding it liquid and making
Yeah,
small
yeah.
stakes, yeah?
Yeah, in the beginning, I was only holding it liquid. That was as of November. It was up until February that I started taking bold decisions, because I noticed my smallest holding in my portfolio, which was Hex, is actually outperforming all the others, like Chainlink, like Ethereum, like Bitcoin. I was like, my small holding is making more for me, so why don't I just dilute some of the portfolio more of, why don't I just make it more of Hex? So as time kept passing by, I started increasing my Hex bag and reducing that of the other shit coins. Then eventually I decided to then do my stake. It was a short stake though, because it was just experiment. I staked for just 2 months, but after that 2 months, I finally understood the system and knew all what I was supposed to do.
So as you had skin in the game with the 2-month stake, you finally had the motivation in your head to start really researching how the concept works, how Hex works, and this made you learn, yeah? Misha, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm still here. Ah, here he is, Nigerian Hex. I think you had a small disconnect, but you are back.
Are you with us, Nigerian Hexagon? We see you. Apparently, you can hear us, but we can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, now we hear you. Yeah,
okay,
we hear
okay. Sorry, the call interrupted.
You froze again?
Yeah, another call maybe.
Give him 1 sec. Yeah, but this I experience also a lot, Hex Misha, that when you do your first stake, then you start to learn about the system.
Yeah, exactly, because now you're, like you said, skin in the game, and now you actually have a self-interest in researching it, where you put your money, and obviously you do the effort, then you start learning about it. And I think that's the best strategy to onboard. You get people in, you have their first stake, they watch it in the stake app, the progress bar, they love it, they start to learn more about it, and then they will become onboarders themselves only once they fully grasp the product.
Yeah, sorry guys, I had to step out.
Hey man, welcome back.
Yeah, sorry, my network.
No problem.
We were talking about that as you do your first stake for 2 months. This was the motivation to actually learn about the system, as you had skin in the game.
Yeah, that was early this year. I think that was around February. I did it February till April. Yeah, so when that was my first stake. So once those stake, and when that particular stake ended, it was a small stake. It was just $200. Once that stake actually ended, then I then decided to go big on Hex. I then emptied my other bags and started doing more bigger stakes.
Yeah, and putting more wave, more factor on the Hex asset than on the other assets, because it's the best appreciating not only crypto but asset class in general. So if it's pumping so much and so much percentage yield, why not put more of your money into it to have a higher leverage and more gains eventually? So I did the same basically.
Yeah.
And what did you make Nigerian Hexagon? Like you are very active in the community. What did you make? Oh, I think he dropped out again. Give him 1 sec.
Yep.
Yeah,
he has also quite a lot of followers, 1,700.
Yeah, he's been mentioning that he is also very active on Facebook, on Reddit. They have a big African WhatsApp community for Hex.
Yeah, I didn't know the Kenya community is so big. I didn't know.
I think I saw this. They also have done some meetups there with Hex t-shirts, so it looked quite professional compare
Okay,
like
nice. Is
to
Kipchoge
other
part
meetups.
of it?
Which one?
Kipchoge.
I don't know him.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry
it's the
guys,
best runner. Welcome back, man.
Yeah.
Can you hear
No
us?
worries.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Perfect. Yeah, we were asking you that you are quite active, and as you are quite active in the Twitter community, what made you actually become that active? Was it have you been already like a extroverted person, or you as a crypto broker kind of caused you to be more active? How did you
Uh,
decide to be this
I
hexagon?
I just feel the more I tweet about this, the better, because I don't really go out much. I'm an introvert. I'm always indoors. So if I can be doing more of, if I make my internet presence stronger, and by making it stronger, that means I'll keep being online and telling more people about Hex, the better. You understand? So that was actually what actually motivated me. I think the first person I could meet online was Huddle Dog. Yeah, so I got very motivated by his post and all these things. So I think that was actually what made me uh, very enthusiastic about being active online and making posts on crypto and on Hex. Yeah,
Nice.
and a lot
And
of them, a lot of, a lot of them get to ask me questions, and they build
nice.
it, gets their curiosity. So
Yes.
I was like, fine, and I like the
Yeah,
Hex community.
the
So
engagement with other hexicans
yeah, the
is
engagement is
amazing. We
really
love it
good.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are usually very friendly, nice. I never saw a pretty toxic community. I always experienced it as very positive because people are in a positive thing. So there's no need to be, feeling bad or anything.
Yeah, I think the Hex community is actually the best I've seen. I won't lie. Like, if you have any problems, we have individuals that are willing to help you. Like, if you just raise any questions, you will surely see someone out there in the Hex community that will willingly give you his time and explain things to you. So, like, I was like, why can't I do same? So I'm always online, always willing to help. I don't initially what I used to do, that was like some 2 years ago. I would tell them, if you actually want to gain some of this knowledge, you pay me for it. But as time went on, I was like, there's no need for me to even tell them to pay me. I'll do all this for free, because
Nice.
this is a knowledge that will actually help them. And uh, I just felt like the more they get it, and the more people know about it, the better. You understand? To tell of the
Yeah,
time,
Awesome.
yeah,
they all tell me thank you, we really appreciate that. I'm just happy
The
that we are all winning.
gratitude, right? The
Yeah.
gratitude they give you is amazing feeling.
That's far more than even the money they will pay. You understand? Because that one is for life. They will always remember you. This was the person who told me about Hex. So
Yeah.
like, that alone makes me happy.
Especially as you said, Nigerian hexagon, that you did not have you didn't know anyone, so you had to learn everything by yourself.
I
I,
had
for example,
to.
had to yeah, you have to do everything by yourself, and you don't know, okay, is the next button I click my end because it can rug pull me? It's super hard. But so I think you're doing them a really great service, because they always have this guy above them that takes care of them, basically protects them a little bit, talks about security, about seed phrases, about hardware wallets, because for us these terms are very like known, we know them. But if you hear it
Yeah.
for the first time, you have absolutely no clue what's going on. So this is also great that these guys have you and you do the service for them for free.
Yeah. It's my pleasure. I'm always happy to help them. I'm always happy.
And Nigerian Hexagon, you said that you kind of act as a crypto broker, as a hex broker for the Mexicans, because there's no other way to get hex in Nigeria, or it's very difficult. Do you plan to expand with this service? Do you plan to make it more sophisticated, or will it stay like this grassroots approach? Do you have any project upcoming?
I I haven't really thought more about that, but let's see how things go. As time keeps going, I don't really plan to be like this for long, but I'm hoping as time goes on, something much more better, a much more better option will be there. You understand?
Nice.
But the only people that I try to offer these services are those that find it actually very difficult, those that can't actually do trades by themselves on Uniswap, those that can't actually have access to exchange accounts to trade on or get access to Ethereum from exchanges like Binance. So, but those that have that were already into crypto, that already have such facilities, I'm just only there to just tell them, do this, do that, do this, do that. Yeah, so that's just how it is. But those, like, there are some market women, those ones that barely know how to even operate the internet. Those are the kind of people that I try to offer help and render more assistance to.
I see. So the one that are most in need, basically, yeah, that are not very knowledgeable. Yeah, this is very noble from your side. Our last guest, Rom Override, also mentioned that it's very important to onboard the little man, you could say. But also, he said that it's very important to get in Wales. How about like in Nigeria? Did you, for example, try to onboard, like, you could say, the upper class, the more richer? How do you see that?
Yeah. I onboarded people that like have better liquidity. Those were the ones that decided to, like, okay, since I have tangible money, I would rather just stake instead of holding it liquid. So those that have access to better capital, 2/3 of the time they rather stake their hex than even hold it liquid, because they already have bigger monthly pay, so they have better options, and some of them, they look for where they could easily keep their storage of value instead of keeping it in all these other volatile markets or keeping it in flat. So I actually rendered them the option of coming into Hex and doing more of staking. And once you start staking, it's so addictive. You can't get tired of staking Hex. You understand? So I don't only meet those in the grassroots. I also try to meet people that are well established and tell them more about Hex.
And what is your secret sauce to onboard and convince them? Is it like maybe like Richard Hart? You have some social signaling. You have maybe some good clothes, you could say, or do you host meetups? How do you break through, basically?
It depends on the individual as a person. It depends on the individual as a person. There are some that I can just only show them the chart and they'll be like, wow, you mean this thing has done like 15x in a year and we don't know about it? And 2/3 of the time, because of how they gatekeep Hex, they don't know about Hex. So they're always actually surprised that Hex has actually outperformed all the top 20 coins, and still they don't know about it. So
they cannot find it on CoinMarketCap, probably, right?
Because you can't even find it on CoinMarketCap. So that one, it works for some people. There are others that you have to do a little bit of Dio. You have to look fresh and do all of that. Then there are people that just ask me, hey, like, because my monthly pay in a month is just only $56, but I'm actually living way above that. It's not magic. It's not magic. I actually work and get all this. So the main thing, once they just tell me, hey, bro, you are living well, your standard of living is very okay. What's the secret? I'll just tell them Hex.
Nice.
It is Hex. So they're like, for sure. I'll just tell them, put your money in Hex for at least 3 months and don't touch it and tell me what you see. So they'll be like, okay. I'll just dump in a couple of cash and let's see how it goes in 3 months. Nice. And 2/3 of the time, after the 3 months, we don't see them saying they want to sell Hex. Instead, they'll be like, okay, I want to buy more.
And stake longer.
Yeah. Get more t-shirts.
Definitely. We all see it. I also made the experience that when you onboard people, they are a little bit uncomfortable staking it for a long time. But once they did first stake, everything went good. They start to grasping the concept of delayed gratification, and then they voluntarily staking for multiple years afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like my
but
mom,
I
my
think.
mom.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I said like my mom when I finally explained to her what the t-shirt does, and I think I literally forced her to go and watch some of Richard Hart's video. She was like, okay, I'm not taking this thing for 2 years anymore. Let's just take it 4 years. I was just laughing. I was like, wow, she finally gets it.
Nice. Awesome. She's a real hexicant. First class hexicant.
Yeah,
Cool.
I really think we also need to resolve this issue with the on-ramping and the exchange problem, because you were saying you are buying all the ETH, you are doing all the swapping and sending out to the people, and this is a lot of work and it takes time, and then you can do it only for one person at a time. If people could actually do it themselves with easy on-ramping, then yeah, they would also be more independent, which is the goal of crypto. Hold their own keys and be all, independent, and the onboarding would be easier and faster, right? Because right now it's limited to your servers, which is amazing, but the time is limited.
Yeah, that's something that I'm hoping maybe as time goes on I will start doing uh meet outs, introducing more people for sit out, where I'll actually explain this thing to, because most of these people have to do one-on-one explaining, and even at that there are a lot of them that will like, I don't really have time to do all of this. Just only send me the hex, I'll send you the flat, you make the purchase and send it to them. So that's a problem that I'm still trying to solve. That's a problem I'm still trying to solve. But for
Hey,
now, I just have to make
have
do
you
of what we
seen
have.
the tour of Cryptosparbuch in USA? Maybe you could do something similar in Nigeria.
Yeah,
You know, meetups in different places.
yeah, I'm planning on doing things like that. But I think for now, because of my 9 to 5 job that I'm doing, I don't think I'll be free to actually do that. But as time goes on, I'm planning. In fact, I'm seriously planning on running stuff like that next year over here in Nigeria.
Wow.
Because in Nigeria here,
Nice.
nobody's doing that. So if I can actually do that, we'll surely unramp a lot of people.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, we would
exciting.
definitely support it and try to be a platform where we invite more people from Africa and Nigeria to talk about their crypto story and the progress that's going on.
Maybe
Yeah, that would be
the
awesome.
guys from Kenya, we can reach out to them for some of the future episodes.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'll,
exactly.
I'll I'll even find a way to even introduce you to group chats and everything, so that the community in Kenya is actually big. And I really like what they're in Kenya. They even do meetups, to tell you how
Awesome.
serious they are. They do
Yeah,
meetups, they
well,
have YouTube links and everything. So it's just
great.
that the
That's great to
Nigerian
hear.
community is still very young. So, and since there are not many of us, everything is still low key, and our government is not supporting crypto. So I think everything is just low key. We are not really loud
Yeah.
about it, because you won't want to start making moves that are against the government, according to them.
Yeah. Definitely. No, I mean, this is a grassroots approach, very early stage, but it's exciting to hear news from first hand from you. So one more time, Nigerian Hexicon, thanks a lot for taking the time to join Hex Grassroots today. I will again share my screen for all the viewers out there. Please make sure to follow Nigerian Hexicon.crypto on Twitter. He's been very active in the Hex community. As he mentioned, he's doing a lot of Hex service in Nigeria, where he acts as a Hex broker to help the grassroots community, the other Nigerians, to easily get onboarded to Hex, as they are not. It's already a struggle for the Western world to get into Hex with the high fees and the poor on ramps. But in Nigeria, it's even harder, and Nigerian Hexagon does a great service, so he deserves a lot of gratitude for that. So thanks for taking the time again. We will definitely follow your journey, Nigerian Hexagon, and yeah, exciting to see what will come next from your side.
Yeah, sure. I'm very happy. The pleasure is all mine. The pleasure is all mine. I'm very happy you guys brought me on the show.
Thank you, man, for being here today. And we would love to hear from you again. And thank you for your service.
Sure. The pleasure is all mine. Thank you.
All right.
Also,
have a nice evening.
Oh, peace.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Wow, yeah, awesome. He has to go through a lot of stuff to not only shill it and onboard the people, but actually get them the Hex into their bags. Wow,
this is exactly Hex Grassroots style. Like the stories that he shared with us, how difficult it is to get onboarded to crypto and in Hex in Nigeria due to government restrictions, due to poor internet, due to a lack of fiat on-ramps, obviously, that these Hexagon grassroots like Nigerian Hexagon are stepping in, doing the moves, not only talking, but also acting as, for example, he in particular as a crypto broker. I was actually thought about it as well, because sometimes I was even worried when I onboarded people, like, should I actually send them to this third-party applications where they get ETH and they have to send it, withdraw it to MetaMask and so on. So I actually was thinking about to send it just straight to them from my wallet. But actually, I wanted them, as it is quite doable in comparison, for example, to the hassle you have in Nigeria, that they should do this learning experience, because it's not as steep as in Africa. But I think if I was Nigerian, I would also do the same way to keep the hassle away from my peers.
Well, absolutely, but I completely agree. I am thankful that you showed me how to do it myself. This goes with the independence and do-it-yourself, self-reliance idea of you do it yourself and it's only you without a middleman. That's why I'm more leaning towards we need this easier on-ramp and exchange product, and then people will have an easier time to help themselves and do it themselves. But yeah, as you said, of course, he's shilling it in Nigeria. He's getting people in who wouldn't have a chance otherwise. So he's going the extra mile, which is pretty cool. Yeah, let's see what the future brings to us. I mean, you heard something about Richard Hart and his exchange with his partners?
Yes, so this is public information that he's been working on this fiat on-ramp in Europe. Not sure how it could be leveraged in other parts of the world, but this is a start, definitely. And also the DeFi exchange, so we can stay tuned for that. But what I also wanted to say one more time, Hex Grassroots with our guest Nigerian Hexagon today, this is what it is all about, to hear this grassroots stories that you would otherwise maybe not hear. So yeah, again, very thankful that Nigerian Hexagon joined us today. He onboarded over 40 people, he mentioned. There are a lot of online communities for Hex in Africa, like they have WhatsApp groups, he mentioned. They are active on Reddit, on Facebook, on Twitter, of course. And as Nigerian Hexagon also stated, he may be able to do some meetups, even organize some meetups next year as soon as he has the time. So this is great news all over the world.
Yeah, and we as Hex Grassroots, of course, want to provide the platform for these grassroots. So to all our viewers, if you are an Hexagon, if you have an opinion, if you want to speak out, of course, you can reach out to us and then we bring you on the show and you're going to be a grassroots yourself right on here. Meister Hex, before we wrap up the stream, Of course, I want to also look into the chat. We had some opinions here. Lyman Ortega, he talked about the community, how it is decent, but in his opinion, way too many Republican and anti-vax people are in this community. Lyman Ortega, while I agree, I see it sometimes on Twitter, I would also argue that maybe they are just more outspoken about it. For example, I am vaccinated and I don't feel the need to tell anyone about it or shill it or talk about the topic itself. It could be a bias that only people speak out that have this agenda. But then again, everyone is free to talk his opinion.
Sure.
But it could be a number bias that if you compare all the hexicans out there and that are actually anti-vax, I think it's a smaller number. And he wished to have more liberals in Hex. Again, I think political views, me personally, I don't feel like talking too much about them, especially concerning in crypto as Hex Misha, my crypto account. But yeah, it could be an interesting topic for another time to talk more about the community. What's the state? What could be improved? How is it? And to you also, the offer, if you want to come on the show, reach out to us.
From my side also, thanks guys. Meister Hex here with Hex Cruise number 3. It was a pleasure as always. And thanks for tuning in. And stay tuned for our next episode with another OG Hex Grassroots. Thank you, guys.
All the best. Bye-bye, guys.